I just bought this stuff so I can dye my greys in the shower without having to do all the preparation stuff. But it seems from the instructions that this product does require me to do all the things that I would normally do when I dye my hair. And because it's slow and gradual, it means that I've got to take all these precautions every time I use it in the shower. So I read through the instructions. These top two segments here are in English and everything else is in other languages. Okay, so we can just isolate that. These are all allergy tests that you're supposed to do and warnings about causing abrasion problems with your skin and allergy reactions. And basically it just says 1 to 2 minutes in a shower. But they say to use the palms of your hands instead of your fingertips to avoid fingernail staining. It also warns that you should use a towel that is dark or disposable when you dry hair getting out of the shower. And it says if you are experiencing fingernail staining, which takes days or weeks to go away, you don't want dark fingers, use rubber gloves, which means I gotta use rubber gloves in the shower. Now when it comes to doing it with the hairpiece, you don't want the base to be stained either. So I'm gonna take my hairpiece off every single time I do it. If I have to do that, it's not worth it. So I would mostly concentrate around the sides there. But I am starting to grey up here. So for people with hairpieces, which is all of you, I guess, I don't know if this is a really good solution, because you can do a concentrated hair dye when your hairpiece is off, and it only takes 45 minutes once every 3 or 4 weeks, whereas this is kind of every day. But it says once you see the color you like, stop using it and start using your normal shampoo, then go back to using it. So I don't know how much color it puts onto your hair each time you apply it. I think it probably has a seal there. And the color is brownish. So that's locked and loaded and ready to go. The instructions on here, just to make sure, it says, leave on for 1 to 2 minutes before rinsing hair thoroughly. That's not long, that's good. So because I'm worried about, I don't want to have to use the palms of my hands to put it through my hair. That's just awkward. I've got to pour it into my hands to start with. I'm going to pour it into the palm of my hand and just be doing this. You got no control with the palms of your hands. That's why we evolved to have opposable thumbs. So I think it's good in theory, but if any of the corners here, because I'm too clumsy, get up into the base of the hairpiece, it's going to stain it and it'll ruin the hairpiece. That probably applies with both lace and poly. And not only that, even if you're wearing lace, you're probably dyeing the glue that you've applied. So we'll see how it goes. It could cause more problems than it solves. I told you years ago that I probably wouldn't care when I started going grey, but I kind of do care. It also says it's not supposed to be used for other hairs on your body. But I have found a grey hair on my eyebrows the other day. Once you've got grey eyebrows, you might as well give up on life, because life's over. Just, no, I'm just kidding. But what happens about eyelashes? Like, I expect that my eyelashes will eventually turn grey too. That's not something I would want to do myself. I wouldn't just close my eyes and just wipe hair dye all over my eyelashes, I don't think. But for now, at this point in history, I reckon I could potentially just do the sides carefully, and because that's the main problem for me at the moment, the temples, right? And if I'm careful, I can avoid going up high enough. Now, just to address one comment that I saw, and I don't read the comments very often, because if you've seen the last response that I gave to a comment, it was "fuck off, you asshole, don't ever talk to me again," right? Something like that, because it was just, I don't know, it was crushing, and I didn't want to feel that way. So to avoid that feeling, because I'm so emotionally weak, I generally don't look at them. And also, I'm lazy. And I know a lot of you put a lot of effort and confidence and time into writing in comments to me, but like I've said a million times, please write to each other. I'll be like a fireplace. You can insult what I've said and find criticism and things that I've said wrong and so on. I've wasted heaps of hours of your time when it could have been succinct, and I could have bothered to edit properly so that you didn't have to sit through there and watch me just rant about American politics, which I know nothing about, or whatever. Just write to each other. Don't write to me and go, now tell me what. And also, if you see somebody else who's asked a question and you know the answer, please answer them for everybody. And hopefully everybody can help each other out. Because it's not, when I make these videos, I don't really think it's just me. I'm here as an expert, here to answer your questions. I just tell you what I'm going through, right? And a lot of the times I think you want certainty, especially if you're new, right? Because I wanted certainty. I hate it when I go to a video on YouTube and it's like, oh, well, you could choose this or you could choose this. And I'm just a fence sitter. I'm trying to avoid fence sitting as much as possible so that you can just make quick split 5-hour decisions often with my videos, but just to make sure that you have more confidence in the decisions you're making. And it could even be that I'm so adamant and dogmatic about what I say that it's easy for you to go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Boom, now you've got certainty as well. So either way, I've given you what I think you want, which is certainty rather than vagueness, which I fucking hate. Vagueness, okay? I want certainty. So will I use this in the shower today? Probably not. I just got Head and Shoulders and I've got some itchy scalp stuff going on, so I'll probably use that instead this time. But I'm just telling you that I bought this stuff and I do intend to try it out over the coming weeks. And also, I've recently dyed my hair, so it's not too grey yet at the moment. So once it starts annoying me, this stuff will be sitting in the shower, ready to go. You'll see the results in future videos because this is not just a one-off thing, it'll be a long-term ongoing thing. Sorry, the fan's going to go off for a while. I couldn't be bothered waiting for it to stop before I told you the point I was getting to, which was the comment that I read was that I should, instead of having a convex hairpiece front, I should have a concave hairpiece front, which would mean that the whole thing becomes like a rainbow coming down, assumedly, is that the right word? To come down and meet up with this slight recession I got here, where once upon a time when I was a kid, my hairs probably came in like that and then went up. So if I went down like that, I'd be rounding there and blocking all that and making that, so it'd be like that. It is something to consider, but it would be hard to conceal the join where, for example, poly, which I don't expect I'll be using lace anytime soon, the poly would be very visible here, I would say. I haven't really tried it properly to cover that, to make a concave shaped hair base template. But it would potentially solve some problems. I mean, when I look at hairstyles in TV and film, which I'm always worried, if I do get a big acting role, yeah, it's a big problem to have. I would be worried because I know that they want to brush the hair back out of your face so they can see your face when you're on stage and everything. Whereas this hairstyle here, like that, you don't see that much in TV and film. It's all brushed back, right? So I'm wondering if I did follow this guy's advice and do make a concave one. He's angry because I haven't tried it in the last 10 years. He's been asking or something. By the way, Discord, the channel is at the bottom of the description. Go there. It's pretty active. Bunch of people. I don't go on there just in the same reason I don't go and respond to all the comments on my videos either. But other people are talking to each other. And if you've got a question about your hairpiece or whatever else, and you want to communicate with pictures and stuff and say, you can block out your face if you want to ask a specific question about this, but it's pretty private. So you should just be able to openly show pictures of this and what do you think of this and ask people advice and stuff. They're better than me, and besides there are more people there than me, and they've had lots of vastly different experiences, and some of them might apply more specifically to you. So go onto that Discord. That's a program you download into your computer, and it hooks up into the internet and allows you to communicate with these people in this StickOnHair channel. Or just go to discord.com and then look up StickOnHair, and I think there's some invitation system. But if you ask to be invited, I reckon somebody in there will just go, yep, sure, no problem. So just join it. And then you can comment long, proper threads, and yeah. It's better than the comment section in YouTube. But I still want you to comment on the YouTube videos, because I might be talking about a specific topic, like this particular product right here. Just for Men Control GX. And is this a particular color? It doesn't even really say, does it? If there is a specific color for this, I can't see what's written. It doesn't even say the hair color. So I don't know how that works. It's magic. Usually with hair dye, you have a hair color. This is, I don't know, different technology. I don't know how it would work. How could it possibly dye your hair to any color that what you're imagining? I want to match my natural hair color. I don't know how it would do that, because there's no color written on the packaging. So it's confusing to me. It doesn't even say brown. Like a lot of people have black, red, blonde, blue hair. I can't imagine that if you've got blue hair and you're starting to go grey, this is going to make the rest of your hair blue as well. So anyway, in terms of that that concave hairpiece cut request, I know that no hair company makes them that way, but this guy's just invented this idea. He said, why don't I just try it? He's been begging me for 10 years, he says. So, you can see how he has a potential point with that idea. If I did seal all that off, right? But I've got to say, from my experience, when the hairpiece is too low on my forehead, it causes a lot of heat. And I've discussed this before and I haven't quite figured it out, but it feels like I sweat more on the forehead. I think there are more pores that sweat on the forehead than in the scalp, which means it will be constantly just oozing out sweat underneath this harsh glue all the time. But if it didn't, then potentially that could be a better look to follow along and block that on both sides, which would be a concave hairline. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried his idea and you've created a hairpiece that is that shape at the front.